When the legendary SR-71 Blackbird took its final flight for the U.S. Air Force, many assumed spy planes had lost their edge. Little did they know, behind closed hangars and secret labs, visionary engineers were already drafting plans for its successor, the SR-72. This hypersonic drone from Lockheed Martin isn't just aiming to match the Blackbird's feats, it's designed to outclass them, becoming an invisible ghost in the skies and a nightmare for enemy air defenses. But can this new aircraft truly outshine the legendary Blackbird? What cutting-edge tech and weapon systems will it carry? Don't worry, we've got the full story. Strap in with techofwar as we dive into the SR-72, a stealthy ghost soaring through the skies, a game-changer that could completely rewrite the rules of air dominance. The saga begins in a world gripped by Cold War tension. Back in 1960, the globe watched in shock as pilot Gary Powers was shot down over Soviet territory while flying the U-2 Dragon Lady, exposing just how vulnerable spy planes had become against the era's sophisticated radar and missile systems. Faced with the deadly reach of Soviet missiles and radar, the United States realized it needed a technological leap to stay ahead in intelligence. Enter Project Archangel in 1957, when the CIA tasked Lockheed with designing a spy plane that could slip past detection. The goal was clear: fly higher and faster than anything else in the sky, and minimize the chance of being spotted. From this effort came the A-12, the SR-71's predecessor, capable of surpassing Mach 3 and reaching altitudes that brushed the edge of the atmosphere. Yet, despite its staggering abilities, new challenges loomed. The rapid evolution of reconnaissance satellites and Soviet radar systems made missions over Russia and Cuba increasingly perilous. Still, the A-12 proved its worth in operations like Black Shield, capturing imagery and surveying surface-to-air missile bases over North Korea and North Vietnam, soaring at 80,000 feet and speeds exceeding Mach 3.1. The SR-71 dodged over 4,000 missiles throughout its legendary career. All it took was pushing the throttle to the limit. But greatness came at a staggering cost. By the late 1982, the U.S. Air Force considered retiring the Blackbird, citing annual operating expenses between $400 million and $700 million, with a jaw-dropping $85,000 per flight hour. The SR-71 flew its final mission in 1999, spending its last years in service with NASA for high-speed research. Its retirement left a massive gap in American aerial supremacy. Jets like the F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II were technological marvels, yet none could perform reconnaissance at the hypersonic speeds the Blackbird mastered. Then, in 2013, Lockheed Martin unveiled plans for its successor, the SR-72, nicknamed the Son of Blackbird. This unmanned marvel promised to double the SR-71's speed, hitting Mach 6 enough to fly from New York to London in under an hour. The very idea of a drone reaching such velocities immediately sparked skepticism. After all, only the experimental North American X-15 had ever flirted with Mach 6 speeds. So when Lockheed hinted it was developing this near-mythical machine, many assumed it was pure speculation. So, what is the main challenge for engineers? Crafting a propulsion system capable of handling multiple flight regimes, from subsonic climbs to hypersonic cruise. And what is the most difficult task? Craft an engine that could handle every flight regime: subsonic, supersonic, and hypersonic. Not exactly a walk in the park. Since 2006, Lockheed Martin engineers had been working closely with Aerojet Rocketdyne to combine a conventional turbofan with a supersonic combustion ramjet, better known as a scramjet. This hybrid system would let the SR-72 take off like any normal jet, then unleash hypersonic power, hitting Mach 6. The drone's initial design relied on proven turbofan engines, like the Pratt & Whitney F100 or General Electric F110, the same workhorses powering F-15 seconds and F-16 seconds. These engines handled the takeoff and early climb, but once the aircraft reached Mach 3, the scramjet kicked in, using the extreme airflow and variable intakes to generate shock waves that compressed air before combustion. This dual-engine approach promised not just to surpass the SR-71 Blackbird, but to shatter the Mach 5 barrier entirely. Yet, speed wasn't the only challenge. At hypersonic velocities, heat could melt conventional steel at around 2,460 degrees Fahrenheit. Engineers had to discover materials that could survive beyond 280 degrees Fahrenheit, or, more realistically, advanced composites combining carbon, ceramics, and specialized metals capable of withstanding intense thermal stress without losing structural integrity. These materials didn't just protect the aircraft, they also improved its aerodynamics. Meanwhile, the US raced against programs like NASA's X-43 and Boeing's X-51. Global events temporarily shifted focus toward counterterrorism, but the drive for technological supremacy never waned. By 2017, Rob W. from Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works confirmed that hypersonic propulsion tests had succeeded, paving the way for the next step: flight tests, with the FRB prototype, a full-scale research vehicle ready to push the limits of speed and engineering. The SR-72 prototype, roughly the size of an F-22 Raptor and equipped with a motor capable of sustaining Mach 6 for several minutes, was ready to redefine aerial dominance. Yet in March 2018, the global stage shifted dramatically. The Russian president unveiled an unofficial hypersonic arms race with the Kh-47M2 Kinzhal missile, sending shockwaves worldwide. Strangely, from that moment, official mentions of the SR-72 vanished from Lockheed Martin's public resources, as if all collaboration with Aerojet Rocketdyne had been frozen. Despite this hush, U.S. Air Force officials repeatedly hinted at new hypersonic platforms, including the SR-72, potentially serving as high-speed missile launchers. Launching weapons at these velocities presents extreme engineering challenges, immense pressure and heat, but Lockheed had already proven air-to-air missile launches beyond Mach 3 using the YF-1 prototype interceptors. At one point, the SR-72 seemed to disappear from public view. Then, in 2021, the Air Force's Weapons Center released footage showing a single-engine research craft strikingly similar to earlier Lockheed renderings. A year later, moviegoers watched Top Gun: Maverick, where the Dark Star, a hypersonic aircraft built by none other than Skunk Works engineers, appeared on screen. Surprisingly, it looked almost real, sparking speculation and excitement among enthusiasts. Though it's unlikely the filmmakers actually hit Mach 10, the producer joked that the U.S. Navy noticed Chinese satellites taking an unusual interest in the model, forcing logistical adjustments to keep prying eyes away. Who knows, maybe some of the PLA have a few movie buffs among their ranks. Even among military circles, rumors of movie buffs abound. But recent interviews suggest the SR-72 prototype is scheduled for its first flight in 2025, with operational deployment possibly as early as 2030. By then, the U.S. Air Force plans to roll out its sixth-generation fighter jets, meaning the budget will be stretched to simultaneously develop two cutting-edge Iron Birds. Add in the B-21 Raider bombers and collaborative combat drone seats, and the future of America's aerial fleet looks ambitious, to say the least. Will the SR-72 finally step out of the shadows and claim the throne left by the legendary SR-71 Blackbird? How do you think after watching this video? Drop your thoughts in the comments, Smash that like button if you enjoyed the ride. And don't forget to subscribe for more high-octane military tech stories. See you in the next video.